Hi everyone, my name's Dana Preby, and I'm the host of a show called Drinking with Dana over on my YouTube and Twitch channels. I also am a occasional GM and an occasional player over on All on the Table. So, what I'm doing tonight, since I can't be with you in person or at least online, is I'm making a cocktail to go with the game you're about to watch being played, and given what I've heard about the game, the one I've chosen for tonight is called an Appletini. And this was a drink that was invented by Adam Karsten of Lola's in Los Angeles. And it was originally called the Adam's Apple Martini because it was named after Adam. And then after that, it got shortened to an apple martini and eventually just an Appletini. Now, this was invented, like I said, in 1996 when all sorts of different martinis were becoming all the rage. And so basically, the restaurant had gotten a shipment of all sorts of new liqueurs from De Kruper, which is a Dutch company that makes all sorts of fancy liqueurs. They just come out with this whole new sour liqueur range. And when they got the Appletini, they were like, well, what are we going to do with this? And Adam came up with the Appletini. So we're actually going to be using the recipe that De Kruper's uses, because the original Appletini was literally just vodka and sour apple pucker mixed together, and that's not as good as the more modern version of it. Let's just say, but it was a huge hit. As a matter of fact, it got so popular that Lola's went from a restaurant that just happened to have a bar to a bar that just happened to have a restaurant, and people were lining up to spend all night drinking these Appletinis. They were, matter of fact, a little too popular because uh, the cops actually noticed a spike in pulling people over and them saying, "Well, I was just drinking Appletinis over at Lola's," and like several of them, and then they'd have to arrest them for drunk driving. Now, word of this got back to Lola's, and they took it off the menu because they didn't want people getting hurt from drinking at their establishment. So they took it off the menu, and there was instantly a revolt. Basically, people started canceling all their reservations. If they didn't have this drink on the menu, they didn't want to be there. And even because up until that point, once this became popular, there were stars lining up. Famous people from all walks of life just lining up to get into Lola's. All of a sudden, they were gone. So to save their restaurant, at this point, bar, they decided to put the drink back on the menu. This didn't advertise it really widely. So that's the drink we're going to be making tonight. Let me put the recipe up for you. All right. So, as I said, we're going to be using De Cooper's recipe. There are, of course, all sorts of different recipes for this, but the one I'm going to be making, their recipe is 2 parts vodka, 2 parts sour apple pucker, and 1 part sour mix. Now, sour mix was something that they used to make back in the day. Fortunately, we've started moving away from it. All sour mix means is it's either 1 part lemon juice or 1 part lime juice or 1 part mixed of those two, and then 1 part simple syrup. Since I don't have any of that made up, I'm going to make it fresh. I'm just going to do, a half a part of lime juice and a half part simple syrup. So let's get to it. So first, I'm going to add. Here, let me bring you down a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. All right, we're going to start off with a half ounce of lime juice. Longtime viewers of my show will know that I like to start with the cheapest ingredients first. In this case, that would be the lime juice. Cheapest and easiest to obtain, I should say. And all you're doing with lime juice is squeezing a lime. By the way, Rose's lime juice does have its place in the cocktail world, but this is not it because it's sweetened already. You want to use an actual lime cut in half and squeezed. So now I'm going to do the simple syrup. All this is 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. You heat it up and it'll dissolve very nicely. And I just put it in a syrup container because my wife suggested it. It was an incredibly good idea. All right, gonna pour that in there. Now, so that's our 1 part sour mix. To that, we're gonna add 2 parts of the sour apple pucker. Again, it's the Coopers here. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. If there's anyone Dutch in the audience, please send me a message and let me know how I'm mispronouncing it. And this stuff is, if you just drink it straight, it's like drinking a sour apple Jolly Rancher. It is very potent and very green. All right, so that's that. And the reason why I'm specifying the brand here is because they're the only ones who make it that I know of. There are probably some other sour apple liqueurs out there, so you could try it with different ones, but that's the one I know of, and that's the one I've always used. And now I'm adding 2 ounces of vodka. And you might notice that this is a pretty big drink. Lula's was apparently famous for using exceptionally large martini glasses, which is another reason why people ended up getting pulled over for drinking and driving, even if they didn't think they had that many. So we've got ½ ounce of lime juice, ½ ounce of simple syrup, 2 ounces of sour apple pucker, and 2 ounces of vodka in here. So I'm going to add some ice and shake this. You can use whatever ice you want. Traditionally, you're supposed to use 1 big cube and a bunch of crushed ice. The big cube helps aerate everything really well. Small cube or small crushed ice chills it down real fast. I would say with the theme we're going with tonight, I'm just going to use whatever comes out of the fridge. So back in a sec. All right, I've added the ice here, and go ahead and shake it. If you have a metal shaker like I do, you want to wait for the outside to get frosted. Basically, I tend to shake until it's too cold to keep holding on to. Obviously, you don't want to get frostbite on your fingers or anything like that. If you have a insulated shaker or plastic or something else like that, then you're not going to get the same reaction, but here we go. And this, as you can see, goes right up to the top there. And now we want to garnish it with a maraschino cherry. The original garnish for it was a slice of Granny Smith apple soaked in lemon juice. So if you want to go that way, you can. Again, I'm going to use a very cheap maraschino cherry. These are not ones I've made myself or anything. I bought it at the store, and they are neon red. So, that is our Appletini for the evening, our cocktail. Cheers! See how it tastes. Tastes like the sour apple candy of my youth, the Jolly Ranchers, or whatever came out of a package that was neon green and pretended to be apple. It's sweet, but not cloyingly sweet. It's tart, but way dialed back from what you get if you just drank the sour apple pucker by itself. It's nice and well balanced, surprisingly well balanced. Very one note, but it's a good note. So I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen here tonight. If you have and want to see more of this sort of nonsense, you can catch my usual show. It's called Drinking with Dana, and it's every other Wednesday on my Twitch channel. The show is basically I teach you how to make a cocktail, and then I teach you how to make a snack to go with the cocktail. But of course, by the time we've made that snack, we've drunk the first cocktail, so I teach you how to make a second cocktail to go with it. I have some other shows like Dana Reviews Things and a few other things I've tried over the years. So if you want to catch those, they're on like I say, every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and that's on twitch.tv/Queen of No Pants and youtube.com/at Queen of No Pants. Those are my channels. Our next show is going to be on December 21st. Again, and actually, that's going to be our marathon charity live stream. So I'm going to start actually at noon Pacific, and basically I'm going to be baking cookies and chatting with folks and all of that up until about 6 o'clock. And then the usual show happens. So by that time, anything could happen, quite frankly. I hope you can join us. It's for a good cause. We're doing our charity stream for Rainbow Railroad this year. And hope to see you there. Enjoy the game. Cheers.